This week, I'm going to be talking about some exciting events happening here in Waco, Texas, and I have some special guests here in the studio. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, yes, my name is Arianna Delaney, and me and my husband, Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh.
We run Waco Sports and Social Club. We're an adult sports league and social event organization here in Waco. And we actually bought the club from some other locals here back in June.
Wow.
So we have been running it for about 6 months now, and we're really excited about all the different leagues and events that we have coming up.
Yeah, so what brought you guys to Waco, or are you guys Waco natives?
So I was born here. Basically, everybody in my family except me went to Baylor. And then I left after first grade. My parents moved around. We were overseas and with some missionary work. And I came back to go to school and went to college at Notre Dame.
Oh, wow.
And that's where we met.
Ari.
Ari.
A love story.
Yeah.
Ari is originally from about an hour outside Chicago. And so when we graduated from Notre Dame, we were looking to come back down to Texas. We were in Houston for a year. And then Ari took a job with World Hunger Relief Farm.
Yeah.
So she was there, until January of 2020. And then we've got 2 kids now. So she's been at home with them until, this Waco Texas Sport and Social Club has kind of become what she's done full time. And I still work remotely for another company, but this is, something that I'm doing as well. So kind of supporting.
Yeah. We moved to Waco. Houston was a little bit bigger than we had really wanted to be in.
Understandable.
And, we really liked that Waco is a good size that you can find a lot of things to do, but also small enough that it kind of feels that small town, homey atmosphere as well. So
yeah, I always say it's a big city, small town feels.
exactly.
So
yes,
I love it. It's the perfect size. Now trying to find a house here. I've been on a recent house hunt. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think we moved. So we moved back in 2018.
Okay.
Kind of beat the rush on some of that. But
Yeah. Now houses are selling in 5 days. Like, I don't even know anymore.
Yes.
The market's crazy. Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, so you guys started doing this. So how did you guys get into it? So do you guys just like sports or something?
For sure. So when we moved, actually Houston was kind of a good, you're an adult and you kind of find out that nobody tells you that making friends as an adult is kind of weird and hard, especially, I think schools like Baylor and like Notre Dame where people that go there aren't, there's some people from Waco that go to Baylor quite a bit, more than Notre Dame and South Bend probably. But there's a lot of people that come from all over to go. And when you're done, you go out back maybe you have high school friends, but the whole friend making thing was kind of a challenge for us. And so our biggest avenue was honestly the sports we were playing in Houston with kickball that we had this group that we played with. So we were kind of looking to replicate that. And when we moved here and we found this organization that these other people were running. And so then I'll let Ari kind of talk about how we took over recently.
Yeah. So we kind of immediately kind of connected with the Waco Sports and Social Club when we moved here. We're like, hey, what are you guys doing? At the time, we're like, do you have any job openings? And really, we did the math. We played in 8 different leagues before we actually bought the company from her. And throughout the time, we're like, hey, if you're ever looking to sell, please let us know. And she just got busy with some of her other career path things. So she's like, hey, guys,
here's your chance.
Here it is. And so we just kind of jumped in head first. We started our first seasons together with us running it in July. And then we're just starting our winter season now and planning for our spring season. So really just jumped in head first and are expanding as much as possible as quickly as we can just because there's so much room in Waco to have different sports offerings and things like that as well.
Yeah, and it checked a lot of boxes for us as far as how do we get more involved in the community, how do we kind of grow our own social lives a little bit as well. So it checked a lot of things while being in a passion area, which is sports and kind of social connection for both of us. So it's, not to say it's easy, but it is something that's a lot easier for us to get behind, from a passion perspective than, so that's been exciting.
Yeah, and as someone, so I am good with the social connection part, but not so good with the sports part. So if you guys want to tell more about what sports you guys are doing, how do your leagues work?
Absolutely. So we typically run things so far anyway in kind of 7-week seasons, if you will. And so basically when you sign up, you're kind of committing to play, at least 6 weeks in a row, and there's kind of a playoff in the 7th week. And what I like about it is you can sign up as a team, so you can bring a group of friends, or you can sign up as, you know, a totally individual. And in that case, you're still guaranteed a spot. Like, we're going to put you on a team. A lot of times we try to put free agents, as we call them, together so that friend making, there's not like one person.
It's not like a clique and it's like someone else gets added.
Yeah. That does happen. And we've seen it work really well both ways. You know, we've had
just like absorbing them into the group.
Exactly. We've had minimal bad experiences with that, if any. So, but it's really cool. Probably my favorite thing is when, like, just this past volleyball season, we had a free agent team. They start playing. You know, you're kind of figuring out things. It's a little awkward. And then by the last week, they're, you know, all high-fiving and, you know, jumping around and winning a game that they probably would have lost at the beginning of the season. So things like that are really fun to see. So
and signing up with each other in future seasons because they liked each other so much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's kind of our thing, too. Like, we came to town knowing no one, and so it's not like we're gonna be like, hey, like, let's get together a whole volleyball team of random people we found off the street. So it was just a really nice way.
You look like you like volleyball.
Exactly.
Join our club.
Like, you're tall. But yeah, it's just a fun way to be able to meet new people, and it is really fun seeing people make those connections and continue on in future seasons and see each other outside of the sports too.
Yeah, and so, I mean, just back to your question, I think, you know, right now we've got volleyball on a couple nights, we got basketball, we've got soccer, and that's kind of our typical three that we kind of have some version of going all the time, and we throw flag football in there sometimes as well. And then we've expanded now, so we have cornhole on one night.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys do it at Brotherwell? Was that you guys?
We did a tournament at Brotherwell.
Yeah, I saw you guys.
Yeah. And then we've got the league's actually at the backyard stage and grill on Tuesdays. And then we've done pickleball as well. So we partnered with the tennis center to do that, and we're really excited about that. So,
yeah, and that's over off of Lakeshore, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And where do you guys do the rest of your sports at?
So we kind of all around town. It depends. So we have a great partnership with this company or, you know, place called Legend Sports Center, which is over on Hewitt Drive. And they run a volleyball club out of it, but then we rent space there. And then our indoor soccer has been with SoCo Soccer. So
that's so cool.
A lot of our outdoor stuff we do with Hewitt Park in the past, but we're definitely looking to kind of expand into, you know, bringing some things, you know, closer to the heart of Waco.
Yeah,
for sure.
So how does the club aspect work for it?
Well, I'll let the membership program that we're doing is actually brand new. We're rolling that out. So
I'll let Ari
talk about that.
Yes. Yeah, we've only offered it to current players so far. So we're rolling it out this week to everybody else. But basically, being like a member of us would be special like percentage off our leagues, and then also we have some different local partners around town like Be Kind Coffee,
shout out Alex,
yes, Franklin Mac House, and Make It Lit. There's like
Decamp Please.
Decamp Please. We have at least
I love Decamp Please.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had a food truck.
Yes,
like I saw that they had a food truck, and I was like, oh my god, all my dreams have been realized.
They really have. Oh my gosh, it's so good there. But yeah, so we have some different partnership offerings, and then we're going to have an annual members only event that we're working on, and like ability to be in our referral program. It's just kind of culminating, like these players who have been with us season after season, just kind of really pushing some helpful things towards them, and on also, making it a little bit more of an entry into new people as well. Yeah,
that's so cool. And how do people sign up for your leagues?
Yeah, so our website, which is txsportswaco.com, I'm sure we'll post it with some of the stuff that comes out here. That website's going to have the ability to register for everything. It's going to have a membership page as well. And so, yeah, I mean, we're called a sports and social club, and but we're not very exclusive in the sense of like, if you're not in the club, you can't play. Like,
you're not in the club.
We basically run leagues just.
It's Mean Girls, but with sports. No, I'm kidding.
We basically.
On Wednesdays we wear pink.
We basically just run leagues, for anyone. But I think we are trying to up what that club aspect means of like, hey, you're a member that has important meaning and also really good value. I think we're charging around like $60 for it. And basically, if you play like 2 or 3 leagues, it's going to almost pay off with just what we're doing, not to mention the perks from around town. So we're excited about it. We think it's a good deal. And so go to that website, sign up. Right now, most of our leagues are kind of underway, but like cornhole and pickleball are pretty easy to jump into. There's a couple, especially women in Waco, we can always use you to play, whether it's soccer or basketball. So jump in on that. And then launch another season in the spring, so we'll have a whole nother round. We were talking today, we might have as many as 10 or 11 leagues that we're launching in March, so we're excited.
Oh, wow, that's so exciting.
Yeah, and so those registrations will probably be open by the time this airs. So.
Yeah, and do you guys post everything on your social media and promo?
At txsportswaco.com.
Shout out.
Yes, we're having fun with the reels there.
Slide in those DMs.
Yes,
for real.
yes, for real. Yeah, and so, and moving forward too, we're just kind of looking to partner with different organizations around town, keep doing some of these like one-day tournaments. We might get back to, we were doing a monthly happy hour that we would love to revamp and come back for, just because we do want it to be like the social aspect of it too. Our whole goal is to highlight your week. Yeah. So looking into it, be like, oh my gosh, what do I do on a Wednesday? Be like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. That's our goal. And so we really do want to be there for Waco and help connect adults.
Yeah. And I know you guys do have some events planned if you guys want to go ahead and talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing is the happy hours that we'll probably be launching in March and stuff. And then I think from there, we're doing a lot of kind of research right now around like what are other types of events that people are interested in. You know, we've toyed around with having kind of a date night event. Like, hey, let's go to Stumpy's Hatchet House or somewhere like that and kind of have a date night and cater that. Or, you know, let's do kind of a women-centric event, you know, focus on networking with local women business leaders, but also just, hey, this is kind of fun time for like what are girls doing on Saturday in Waco. So
girl gang.
Exactly. So I think, you know, as far as specifics right now, it's pretty much just like probably some happy hours coming up and then look for the kind of maybe like a date night series type deal. And then we're going to be doing a lot of, I think, market research, if you will, of kind of figuring out of like, hey, what is, you know, a lot of our stuff to make it worth it is going to have to cost, you know, in that $50 range. And so we know that's not something that people just like, oh, sure, I'll go check it out. Like you have to kind of incentivize them to come. And so we're trying to figure out what's the best way that we can do that. And I think, you know, we're making a lot of strides. This winter season's been really encouraging, which is how many people we have involved and how many people we've had kind of ask us about next season and kind of, hey, what else are y'all doing? And so we're excited to kind of see how that grows.
Yeah. And what are some winter sports? So what is the difference between winter sports and like other sports?
So
the time of year that we're playing them.
I mean, it's Texas, so.
Yeah. So one of the things that we have been battling from like the summer, spring, fall to the winter is the daylight. And so winter sports means more indoor sports for the most part. Yeah.
I'm good with indoor things.
Yes, indoor things. But yeah, so the only difference between this winter and probably our spring is we will have a little bit more of like outdoor soccer versus just indoor soccer.
Outdoor volleyball
versus just indoor volleyball. We might expand our pickleball league to some other courts that might not be lighted. Yeah. And so just some things like that daylight savings time just kind of nips us about. So we'll be coming back with some more outdoor things.
Yeah, and anybody that's been listening and has heard you guys say pickleball like 8 times, can you guys please explain what pickleball is for those who don't know?
Okay, it's so much fun. It's probably one of, like they say, it's like the fastest growing sport in the nation. Basically, you play on a smaller tennis area space with a flat paddle, kind of like a ping pong paddle. Okay. And you play with a wiffle ball looking. And it's one of the easiest sports to pick up. We have had so much fun. We started on Monday, and our age range is literally from like 21 to like 75. Oh, wow. And everybody is on super even playing field. You can tell there's some competitive people and there's some like social players. And it was so encouraging because at the end of the day, everybody was like, this was so much fun. Oh my gosh. And so it's a really cool sport that is really a lifetime sport. And so it's been growing so fast, and we're excited to be able to expand that here in Waco.
Yeah, and I know you guys have been saying this is an adult social club, so I did hear you just say you've from 21 to 75. So how do the age ranges work?
Yeah, so I mean, most of our liability and all that covers 19 and up. So we basically, every league with us is just going to be, you have to be 19. The only exception is cornhole. We've had some kids come out and, you know, their dad's throwing, so they'll throw with us. So, so yeah, and I mean, the previous owners had toyed with doing some, you know, kids sports as well, and we might eventually get there. But right now, our focus is completely on kind of that 19 and up market. And
so does it 19 to 90 or?
I
Is there a cutoff?
We haven't had to cut it off on the top yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay.
With us, we don't discriminate. You're good.
Good.
We'll have you.
I think my demographic is like 30 to 40.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Okay, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah, every sign up does have something where it's like, if you're not good enough to be in the league, we reserve the right to remove you. So I guess that's kind of our out there if you showed up and we're like 105. But for the most part, I think.
Some like
hey, there
NFL
is a
player trying to play
there you
football
go.
with us. We might be like,
Hey, there is a granny basketball league now. Did you guys hear about that?
I had not.
Yeah, so there's a granny basketball league. I can't remember what their names are, but they're doing it over in East Waco.
I love that.
And so it's like 6 little old ladies, and they go and do and it's literally called granny basketball.
Nice.
So people that are interested, I'll post more information. Check out Act Locally Waco.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's something too. Like the more that we expand, the more we'll be able to offer like different like divisions.
Yeah.
And so people can feel more comfortable, like if they are a little bit more social or they haven't come out in a while. I think like for the most part, we have the range that would be acceptable now, but I think there is a world in the future that it would be even more delineated out.
Yeah, that's a question we get a lot that is like, hey, I haven't played in a while, or how good do I need to be? And some people are also like, how competitive is this? Because they want to make sure that it's competitive enough for them. And honestly, like our answer, I really try to accommodate. I mean, obviously we want to accommodate as many people as we can just for business, but our leagues also do a great job of that, where you can show up. It's going to be reasonably competitive, even if you are, not the best player. Yeah. And it's also just gonna be really fun. We get compared a lot to some other leagues that, not just in Waco but around the country, that are just, we're a lot more chill while still maintaining the ability to have fun, get a workout, and stretch your competitive muscles a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our core values is fun first, and we really believe that, and people have been really good about that. So it's been really fun just seeing everybody get out there together.
Yeah, and that's amazing. And so since it is still the beginning of the year, I know it's already February, but what are your goals for 2022?
Oh, gosh. We would like to have so many leagues and so many fun events.
All of the things.
All of the things. All the things. We've been discussing some things with the Waco Sports Commission, too, and just kind of different ways of maybe having maybe like a Texas games and bring some people from like Dallas and Houston and San Antonio to come play here. Again, like super socially. So that would be fun.
Yeah, I think we have some revenue and some, league number goals that I think we're already kind of on pace to get ahead of, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
I think we'd like to expand what we do on the social side for one, have like a, kind of central social event, and then also expand what we do on the corporate side. Both, we want to do maybe some cornhole fundraiser type events, and also like partnering with a business like, hey, we're going to do a corporate field day, or at least to have them come out, hey, sign up a corporate team and play with us. So I think really take what we do at the corporate level and kind of up our game there.
Yeah.
But our biggest goal, I think, is probably just kind of members. Like we want to see those kind of roll in this year. So we got a lot of different metrics at play, but we're excited just because, we're still getting our feet under us and we already feel like we're moving the right direction. So.
Yeah. And I mean, from what I've seen, you guys are doing amazing, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And again, I'm not a sporty person. I am a social person. So both of these things are things that I can fit right in with.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And then one of the other questions I always ask is, what is something you guys would like to see more of in Waco?
The classic thing is like, oh, well, we could use, a different restaurant, or like, oh, what if there was another thing like this? But
I think someone's just been like
Costco.
Trader Joe's, Costco.
Yeah, Costco.
I-35
I feel like
complete.
everybody says Costco.
Less construction.
I think just honestly, the ways to connect young adults. So, we go to a local church that has kind of struggled with that, just because Waco traditionally is kind of older, family, and then like college kids. And in the middle, and then even within that middle, there's people like us that already have kids. And so it's like, we don't really fit as, a 25 single person, that we don't have the same needs and all that.
Yeah.
But just being for Waco to have like really cool ways to serve all this. I mean, it's grown so much, even in 3 years we've been here. Things like Stumpy's Hatched House, Waco Acts, things like right next door, Waco escape rooms have just becoming even more popular. And so I think seeing those kind of things where people are thinking about the, 23 to 40-year-old people, whether they're single or married, just seeing that grow and watch, that scene come alive has been really fun, and something we'll be, hope to be a part of.
Yeah, and one of the things I think that we've been toying with and trying to figure out is is that kind of group of like that we're in, that like young people who want to be going to do these things, but childcare is just like impossible to find sometimes. And so we would really like to figure out some type of partnership here in town to make that easier for people.
If anybody's listening,
yes, please hit us up. We would love to talk to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. And last but not least, I always have a shout out section. So this is for anybody you want to shout out. It could be your mom, it could be your grandma, it could be your dog. But anybody that's helped you along the way, anybody that, has inspired you on this journey, this is your chance to thank them.
Yeah, I'd say we have to shout out Nana.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to Nana. She definitely is a huge help to us. And then I think, we will just shout out to Nisha and Rojo Johnson, who founded the club and are still a big part of it. They play with us on Sunday nights.
Oh, wow.
And the attitude they bring, to the club helped make it what it is. And then also to this transition has helped us be successful. So definitely to them. And, they're an awesome part of the Waco community. And we hope that they'll continue to be a part of what we do going forward.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, all right. And make sure to give us one last time where all your plugs are. Give us your URL. Give us your Instagrams.
Yeah, for sure. You can find us at TX Sports Waco pretty much everywhere. .com, on Instagram, on Facebook. We have a Twitter, but it's a little bit not as active. But really find us on Instagram and Facebook. We have a group as well, too, that all of our stuff will be posted on.
Absolutely.
All right. And is there anything else you guys wanted to say to our listeners today?
Just come play cornhole on Tuesdays at Backyard, and sign up, message us on there and signed up for a league. Even though we're not right at the beginning, we can definitely get you in somewhere.
All right, awesome. Sure. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I am definitely looking forward to all the things you guys are going to be doing for our amazing community. And I just wanted to say thank you guys.
Thank you for having us. Yes.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.